Kelly's patio.
Yes.
I just want to know how you're going to bring all that candy and just put it there, like, that's a bag of candy.
You want some candy, Lou?
I'm just saying. I mean, I see dots in there.
Was I wrong?
I'm like X-ray vision, right? That whole bag, I'm like tearing down, like.
I don't even know who she is.
Prepared for negotiations.
You know how to do it.
I'll share with you.
You now know
Oh
your
my
weakness.
I offer them food one night.
You guys are crazy. No, you didn't know that, no. Why didn't you wait?
How's the dental?
I hope not. Then I'll take it out.
Now, if you talk too long, you may not.
You're live,
Hold
aren't
on, just.
Harry, it's all good.
This is how we make the.
Camera's on.
Go real
Oh, great,
quick.
you're gonna see me share on the other side. Oh, Lordy.
Okay, so where do we have? Okay.
I have a statement. I just want to clarify that the new overtime being marked as extra duty on the roster, but it's still, in our opinion, mandatory overtime. I don't want the county to feel that we're volunteering. We are volunteering because it's a new overtime system, but it's still mandatory overtime. There's people that do not want to work. Just so it's on record.
So speaking on record, we want to clarify this issue of the number of vacancies that we currently have. Steve?
When we talk about 70 vacancies, we need to understand that some of the vacancies are for dorms that don't exist, that we've gotten permission over the last few years knowing that the dorms are coming. Currently, the roster plan has dorms 5, 6, 7, and 8, which right there is approximately 16 spots that we come off that, because previous years, knowing that we were getting the dorms, we went ahead for the staffing plan for that, so that's why that number has increased. In addition to it, with the roster at shift change, the one that we like to go to also gets the clinic to 24 hours coverage, so that once our staffing gets up to those levels, there's no more having to shut down a unit because we have a juvenile in the clinic, we have a constant watch in the clinic, which does happen. So we are recognizing that in the roster plan. So when we say that number, it's also taking into account 12, the booking, which is transitioning out. We knew that plan. That plan's been out there for a while. So right now, with the rosters that I ran yesterday, and this doesn't get rid of overtime when I say this, it's not. I'm comfortable saying 29 spots on the floor, as far as to get the minimum levels taken care of. In that, 12 of them are the booking. That is going to be a 12-week training program. We already have some applicants that are in the process of coming in so that we can start doing that. We did have 2, but one of them decided they want to be a CO, so we encouraged that, and we moved them over to the CO side. So realistically, 29, and then with some higher, we'll be under 20. And then as I said earlier, I'm waiting for some figures from training them. I do recognize, like you said, with the overtime, when I look at all that, as I've said previously, I consider it all mandatory overtime regardless of what the label is on it. I understand that the majority of the bargaining unit does not want to work the overtime, especially having been told. So I understand, I view it as that regardless of what it is, until we get to a point where we go, okay, great job, everybody, our staffing levels are up. And then we can go back to mandatory and volunteer so that we can start to track those. Right now, I'm tracking it all as mandatory.
So when you make the statement that you made, are you considering that all the closed units as we're not filling them anymore? So example, South Wing would be 10. That's 10 officers that we're not using. East Wing's 4, and that's only for running them at 1. West Wing would be 4. I know West Wing's going to get tore down. 1 dorm that's closed, and the other positions that are closed, Unit 12, closed position, Unit 10 running with 1 unless we have death row inmates. Are all these figures in that category?
Yes, and the one that I just said with the 29 is what we're shooting for. I've got East Wing's got people. I put names just alphabetically to positions. So it may not necessarily be the right person that's in it, but I was going for position versus person. So dorm 1, dorm 3, special needs, age block are on here. You said East Wing's on here. Control ID, all 4 shifts next door. Unit 6, Unit 7, all those are double slotted, not with admin people when I did this figure, because I don't like the admin shift. I prefer the 12 hours, but I understand their staffing levels require us to be flexible. Booking and transport, I'd have to, there should be something on here. No, I removed South Wing off of that one, and I should have removed East Wing because I don't have dorm 2 on there either since it's not open. I'll adjust that for this afternoon.
I know, like, we're running the building short currently with our overtime, and the requirement for day shift is 10 or 11? 10 people, so that's 70 spots on overtime we're filling a week. 140 a pay period. So I'm not sure how the numbers, and that's just day shift.
Well, because the 70 isn't just based on vacancies, it's based on people taking leave.
Yeah.
Just say 6, since that doesn't count the leave, still waiting 129.
Yes, but you're looking at the positions. What positions are you looking at when you're doing this? A full roster for what we want was, like I said, all the dorms and everything is where that 70 to 80 is at. That's including South Wing, East Wing, Dorm 2, all the new dorms that have it. That's where those 80 are at. And as I put out prior, I have no problem showing you the 2 differences so that we're on the same page, understanding that the priority is to get 30 in as fast as we can. And then, you know, obviously we want to get to the 80, but the 30 gets us those posts to where now you're not having to cover vacant posts that are on the ship, but you're also having to, you're only having to cover vacations, you're only having to cover possibly a hospital, which we recognize that in future staffing plans, we do want to get to those levels to put constant people in there, because we know that we're averaging 1 to 2 a day. So I have no problem, as I did when we originally did this, Roger, sharing it with you so that your numbers are accurate, you can see where we're at. It's just, I've been told, no, don't worry about it. So I will bring it, I will give it to you, and we can sit down, and if there's any discrepancies in it, we'll work it out. But this, I had the full roster, even taking into account those people that we don't have as part of that 70. But to say we're 70 fixes us, 70 gets us dorms that aren't even created yet. So that's all I want you to do is be open-minded. I'll sit down with you guys, bring you to do different things, because I broke it down by shift, you know, position counts, whatever, so that if you have questions, we can sort it to address and look at it from different perspectives.
Yeah, and just to clarify that even if we were at, full staffing, you're still going to have to fill vacancies, not only for leave, but, not only for personal leave or vacation, but also FMLA, workers' comp. You're always going to have a certain number of vacancies that you're going to have to fill on every shift. But look, this isn't meant to say that we don't have an issue that we need to address and that we're not concerned. We just wanted to clarify the numbers on that.
Well, let them get together and look at it. And I guess the next thing is just kind of run it.
All right, well, before you do that, let me just give you a revised proposal on the wages. So the way that the proposal read before was that if there's another county general across the board increase, then you will get the one level increase, which is the 2%. What we changed it to is that if the general county employees get a across the board pay increase, you get the step plus the difference if the county increase is greater. So for example, let's say that the county increase was 4%, you would get one step, plus you get the 2% added to the value of your limit. You know, so this way you would get that 4%.
Right, so we have 4%, essentially you move up 2 steps.
Well, actually, the way we proposed it, because then you get into an issue if it's, you know, okay, what happens with the 3?
Right.
So that's why the way that we did it is that we said, move up one level, and then whatever that additional amount is, gets added to the value of that, of your step.
Correct.
It's not gonna go. Yeah.
We'll take this back to the membership now, we'll take a look at it.
Okay, let us know.
Yeah. And then you want to try to schedule it now, or?
It's always a challenge with Rich and I to schedule.
That's what I'm saying, if we get out of the way, okay.
I tell you what, I would agree to a date as long as you aren't gonna get mad at me when I call you up and say, hey, Andy already gave that thing away. Because that's the issue. I end up, whenever I try to do this at the bargaining table, I end up double, triple booking.
Okay, I mean, you have a date.
What dates, what dates are you guys are?
Pretty much anything in July except for the last week, and then, nothing in August, you said, so. You go with the first week and he's gone with the last week's. So we skip August and have it all the way into September.
But you want to do July?
If you have anything in July, just not the last week.
Okay, and anything in July except the last week? I have no doubt whatsoever that we can find a date in July.
And then,
You just give us.
Yeah, what, yeah, the thing is, that, yeah, and we'll work with Angie, and then we'll get you the, you know, some dates in July.
And then you have time to get back to the membership.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, sounds good.
All right.
All right, well, thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.